All right. Let's see here. All right, I want to make sure that we are on here. All right. All right, we are good.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck happened. I'm telling you, the world is crazy right now. You guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. We are back. I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know what the heck happened. And for the folks who need a new stream too, for YouTube, we make sure that we are back here as well. All right, perfect. All right, well, let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. I'm gonna send you guys a new link for YouTube. Make sure you do share. I'm gonna send you guys a new link for YouTube. Yep, here it is. I got it. Make sure you do. Wow. All right. Well, moving forward here, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. I want to speak to you guys about a rapper that died. A lot of folks are speaking about this rapper, black rapper. He died. Let me tell you, being shot at a dice game. I kid you not, being shot at a dice game. If folks out there don't know what dice is, you should Google what dice is. It's a game that a lot of people play for betting. I used to play dice actually when I was in high school a lot. We used to carry dollars and play dice. That would lead to a lot of folks getting into fights.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Where I'm from, these fights sometimes get serious. And in Takeoff's case, it got real serious, and he ended up getting shot. I want to go ahead and run this story when I come back. I want to speak about it. A lot of people are crying from here to Pakistan. They are saying we got to stop the violence. And I'm just saying, if you're rapping about shooting and killing, and you die by a gun, gosh darn it, aren't you just doing your job? Let me go ahead and run this when it come back. I want to get you guys' take on it. Make sure you guys share. Here we go.
And just thinking possible discharging firearms or shooting, not sure which. And just until at Dallas, probably heard gunshots and people screaming.
28-year-old rapper Takeoff is shot and killed at a private party in Houston, Texas. Officials say it happened in the early morning hours of November 1st at a bowling alley in the city's downtown. Officials say Takeoff, whose real name is Kershnik Kari Ball, was shot in the head or neck. He was pronounced dead at the scene. In emergency audio released after the shooting, dispatchers can be heard saying 5 shots were fired.
There's 5 shots fired downstairs, outside, near 2004.
Officials with the Houston Police Department say between 40 and 50 people were at the private party that ended at about 1 o'clock in the morning. More than an hour later, at 2:40 a.m., dispatch received a call about the deadly shooting.
The people next door are calling in about discharging firearms.
According to TMZ, Takeoff and fellow Migos rapper Quavo were playing dice when a fight broke out. After that, someone opened fire. Quavo was not injured, but 2 other people were. Police say they were taken to nearby hospitals in private vehicles. Right now, their conditions are unknown.
He's on check out 22B23 1212 Grand Plaza for discharging firearms.
Investigators on the scene found multiple shell casings on the third level of the building outside of the bowling and pool hall. From here, investigators say they will look at surveillance video of the scene to determine what led up to the shooting. Takeoff and the group Migos rose to fame after their 2013 hit Versace was released. Takeoff was the youngest member of the group. Quavo was his uncle, and third member Offset was his cousin. For the latest developments in this story and all things true crime, stay with Law and Crime Network. I'm Sierra Gillespie.
Bow. There you go. 3 Negroes with scrigglers in their hair. You guys, let me tell you something. One thing I don't see is country music stars getting shot and killed at dice games. I don't see them getting shot and killed at their concerts. I don't see rock stars getting shot and killed like this. Shoot, I don't see anybody really getting shot and killed like this except for Negroes and rappers who tap dance. Jamal, let's go ahead and start with you, brother. Why are these things always happening, and why are people somehow, upset and they are distraught? I mean, what's wrong with these folks?
Well, easy, because what they're trying to do is hang on to that lifestyle because they still trying to get some cool points. Now, a lot of these young kids, they're not making any money in the rap industry.
Nope.
People think, yo, they on TV with the big stacks of cash, with the tea. They really ain't making no money off that one hit. It's in the stores. They're not making all that money. They may sell 1 million copies of one song and only get $40,000 to $50,000, and then they blow it. So he's doing and hanging out where he going back to what he does, hanging out, trying to keep his street cred, and he gets shot. A lot of these rappers are too busy trying to hold on to their past and not realizing, hey, encourage them. We can do better. But if you really are worth millions, you should not be sitting out there hanging out in some back alley because some Negro who broken than you saying you ain't keeping it real. I am keeping it real. I'm at Trump Casino spending $20,000 on some real dice.
Mm-hmm.
Where people walk around and let me get a Sprite with 2 cherries. Thank you. Oh, that's what I'm doing. I ain't in the back alley. Yo, man, yeah, you see me? I got this $100,000 chain, $50,000 in cash, and now they zipping me up in a black trash bag. Grow up. If you make that kind of money, you have to leave your old hood behind.
You have to. You have to leave it behind or else you're going to die. You're absolutely going to die. Jay, what do you think?
As tragic as this is the lifespan of those that live in the culture of death. And that's what we have to understand. You have I mean, that's not the only rapper that has died within the last 5 years.
Nope.
Of what's in this world. Jesus made a good point when he said, what profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? You got all these people that idolize money, idolize that lifestyle and stuff, and they'll do anything and everything to get to that lifestyle and stuff. And then next thing you know, you got somebody that's jealous of that, and then they want to blow your brains out in the back of your head. I hate it. I hate it for the families. But again, these are the generational curses that goes through the black culture that want to continue to listen to the garbage that they listen to and think that they're going to turn out okay. the Bible says that, you need to guard your heart with all diligence because out of it flows the issues of life.
But
When you
Jay,
put
it's
death
just music. It's just
yeah,
music.
if it's just music, then you wouldn't have these people pouring billions of dollars in the music industry so that they can get their records bought by these teenagers that will take their rap as preaching to them so that they can go ahead and reproduce the thug that they want reproduced. I learned that a long time ago. I had about $5,000 worth of CDs and music when I was growing up, and then realized how detrimental it was to my life. And I destroyed every one of the records that I had. When I got serious with God, I knew that that was the first thing that He wanted me to get rid of.
Man, I'm telling you, you ain't told a lie, Jay. The music to me is more influential. People make music more influential than the pastors at churches, than your own father. A lot of the times, a lot of these people look up to the rappers, the singers, more than anybody that's around them. So the people who are at the top, they know this. They know that, hey, a guy like Takeoff who was rapping and tap dancing and eating chicken, I can go ahead and give him, something to say, give him a message. He can preach it into his songs, right? And then his songs can reach the masses and it can change people's quote unquote hearts or their minds. Back in the day, witches used to call, witches would use this quote unquote music to enchant folks, right?
Yep.
The chorus, they call those chants, right? The more that you say it, the more that it sticks in your mind. All right. These are the things that witches, brujas, used to use back in the day to get people to get entranced so that they can, do their, black magic and things of that nature. So these things here have more deep roots than what it really shows on the surface. Mr. Jamal, last words on this here, brother.
Sometimes people have to realize the audience may want you keeping it real, but your life is at stake. Now, notice how when wrestlers do stuff, they say, don't try this at home.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they do.
Rappers need to say, hey, if this is just entertainment, then, hey, we're just expressing our artistic view. This is real. Or don't try this at home. Don't do it. And you know what? And the people, and let's tell the truth in now, the people got to stop demanding music like this too.
Yep, they have to.
If they're lost and this is they call entertainment, they want more blood. They want more lust. They want that.
I'm telling you. I am telling you. Last words, Jay.
I hate it for the family, but they're not going to learn. And let me let me put this in a different light. Where's Black Lives Matter? Where is the Democrat Party? Where's Robert Francis? You're not going to hear from these tools, and the reason why you're not going to hear from these tools because they promote this garbage. Black Lives Matter. They're not going to be anywhere near it because they're going to buy another mansion somewhere not near blacks.
Nope.
Fact check that.
All three houses.
Mm-hmm. They're not gonna come close to it. They're not gonna touch this. Black Lives Matter doesn't care about any of this.
No.
At all. At all. And one thing black folks need to stop, promoting and wanting this type of music. As long as the thug entertainment industry and black folks look up the thugs and this type of thing is going on, we'll keep getting this nonsense.
Yep.
We will keep on getting it. The rap music is also being pushed by the executives too. If the rappers started singing and preaching about holding hands and things of this nature, they wouldn't get the album deals. This is what the rappers are saying. The rappers are saying the executives want them to be, saying stuff like this in the music. And what I say to these rappers is that nobody is putting a gun to your head. So what it come down to is the morality of the community. That's what it come down to. And that's something that a lot of black folks don't want to hear. They don't want to hear that. They're still stuck in that morality, that bad morality where you're accepting of this music. And once you're accepting of it, you have to be accepting of everything that comes with it. Yep. And let me tell you something. What comes with it is death and destruction. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to a very special woman by the name of Kristen Walker. Kristen Walker donated, took our $5 challenge on not PayPal, but Cash App. My bad. Shout out to you. Absolutely. And it says, let me make sure I get it. It says, these people cannot stand anyone else's success. Absolutely. They cannot. That's why they do their darndest to screw it up. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you do share. I want to go ahead and speak to you guys about a crazy, crazy situation. And it deals with the Pelosi's. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something. When I heard about this, I couldn't stop laughing. I said, this is for sure an October surprise. Let me tell you. And let me tell you something. It's an October surprise. I want folks to understand this. Paul Pelosi, I believe he's 82 or 84-year-old man. 84. He is Nancy Pelosi's drunk husband. Apparently, he was at home, and there was a guy, they're saying, who was there. Weird guy, let me tell you. He had a hammer. And apparently, he was whooping on Mr. Paul Pelosi. And he wanted to bust the kneecaps of Nancy Pelosi. And I'm like, gosh darn it. Get that man a drink. Let me go ahead and run this when I come back. I want to get you guys' take on this. All right? I want to. Yeah, oh yeah. New details emerge about Paul Pelosi's alleged assailant. I want you guys to take a look at this when it comes back. We'll definitely speak about it. Here we go.
But we begin with horrifying new details about the attack on Paul Pelosi and the alleged plot against House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. So according to authorities, a man accused of breaking into her home and attacking her husband wanted to interrogate Nancy Pelosi, believing she was telling lies. He allegedly told authorities if he didn't like the answers or he thought she was lying, he was prepared to, in his words, break her kneecaps. David DePape now faces multiple charges, including attempted murder. He'll be arraigned later today. Jonathan Bigliotti is outside the Speaker's house in San
murder.
Francisco.
Come on.
Jonathan, good morning to you. As bad as this
Busting
story
kneecaps
is, it could
ain't
have been so much
attempted
worse.
murder.
These details are just stunning.
They are, and good morning to you, Gail. Federal officials really describing a very disturbing plan, saying the suspect arrived here at this home early Friday morning with a bag of items to take Nancy Pelosi hostage. They say he intended to tie her up and assault her using a hammer.
This was politically motivated.
San Francisco DA Brooke Jenkins was clear about what investigators say were the alleged attacker's intentions early Friday morning.
This house and the speaker herself were specifically targets of the defendant.
Jenkins said there was no security at the home when David DePape broke in armed with 2 hammers, zip ties, tape, and a rope.
Everybody else in America,
upstairs,
the guys released on a no-cash bail. Now they want to keep him locked up.
Confronting him about the whereabouts of Speaker Pelosi.
Paul Pelosi told DePape his wife would not be home for several days, according to the newly released criminal complaint. At one point, the speaker's husband was able to go to the bathroom, which is where he called 911.
2 police officers arrived at the front door 2 minutes after that 911 call. When that door was opened, the defendant was holding his hammer, which Mr. Pelosi appeared to be attempting to control by holding a portion of that hammer. The defendant then pulled the hammer away from Mr. Pelosi and violently struck him in the top of his head.
At that point, Jenkins said, police immediately apprehended the suspect. According to the complaint, DePape then told police his plan was to hold Nancy hostage and talk to her. If she told the truth, he would let her go. And if she lied, he was going to break her kneecaps, saying she would then have to be wheeled into Congress, showing other members there were consequences to actions. DePape also explained generally that he wanted to use Nancy Pelosi to lure another unnamed individual. With the midterm elections a week away and threats against officials escalating, the DA called on everyone to tone down the rhetoric.
We should be able to all engage in passionate political discourse, but still remain respectful of one another.
And Nancy Pelosi said in a statement her husband is making steady progress recovering from a fractured skull. Meanwhile, officials say they intend to hold the suspect without bail. He will be arraigned later today, Tony.
All right, Jonathan, thank you very much.
Bow. Man, oh man, let me tell you something. Attempted murder. I got to start with Jay. Attempted murder for somebody saying that they're going to just try to break your kneecaps if you're lying. My goodness gracious, Jay. Don't you think they treating this man harshly? Hold on. Attempted murder. My good. What do you think about? What do you think, Jay?
I don't believe anything. I mean, the first story that they had was that that they didn't know the guy, and then in the 911 call, you had Paul Pelosi call this guy by name David, and then when they got there, they were supposedly be fighting over a hammer. Yet, but he was calling him from the bathroom, and then there were reports of this guy that was in his drawers fighting with the hammer. I mean, so and then they're going to say this is politically motivated. Who political party was he a part of? Is he a part of MAGA? Being an illegal alien, being a philanthropist, LGBTQXRP supporter. He was part of the MAGA crowd. Give me a break. These people are trying to say whatever they want to say in order to blow this thing over. What's happening is that this is starting. They're starting to reap what they sow. They're starting to reap what they sow. Whatever happened in our house, I guarantee you it was consensual.
My goodness gracious. Jamal, do you think that this guy could be a gay lover? A lot of folks are speaking about this, like, you get what I'm saying? A hammer, you get what I'm saying? He over there at night, he got zip ties, a whole bunch of freaky stuff. It sounded like it was about to go down. What do you think here, brother?
Well, I'm just gonna tell you like this. If a lady in New York was pushed in front of a train by a man who had been repeatedly released on cash bail, People in California, San Francisco, been begging them, do something about the crime. Nothing's done. But soon as somebody attack Paul Pelosi, the hammer is thrown at them. The book. Now, I thought we live in the United States where we don't have lords and kings, but if you touch the Lord's son, you got executed because you're a lowly peasant. People ought to be ticked off about this. How many people have been assaulted? How many people have been hurt? And nothing was done. And when it comes to the whole Nancy Pelosi thing, bless you. When it comes to the whole Nancy Pelosi thing, Kayla Elgerson, an 18-year-old boy, ran down and killed in North Dakota. He was killed a week after Joe Biden did that speech with the blood red background. So let's not sit here and act like that, oh, Democrats aren't doing anything. Democrats have been hunting us down and killing us. I want to thank Shane Terry for your kindness and generosity through PayPal. Thank you, Shane. And I want to thank Christian Walker. Thank you for your kindness and generosity.
I'm telling you, shout out to those beautiful folks there. Shout out to those beautiful folks. Absolutely. Jamal, I have a picture of Paul Pelosi's X-ray. Let me go ahead and show folks. Do you know it came out? Oh, yeah, it came out. Let me go ahead and show folks. Make sure you share too, brother, all right? Make sure you share. This X-ray, let me tell you, is something serious. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. Paul Pelosi, he can really be, he a real taker. I can tell you that. He's a real taker. You guys see that right there? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You think I'm playing? You see that, Jamal? I know you do. I know it. I know it, Jamal. You think I'm playing? I'm telling ya. So there you guys go. Paul Pelosi, he having trouble. Now, Jamal, I want to go ahead here and run this story. All right. Now, this has to do with the narrative that is being played by the Democrats right now. They are blaming right-wing rhetoric. They're calling it extremist rhetoric. That is bringing violence here in America. And I say that's a damn lie. When Steve Scalise got hit up, they weren't running their mouth about any rhetoric. When Kavanaugh and them were being, threatened and everything else, they never said nothing. This is another ploy by the Democrats. I want you guys to take a look at this. Here we go.
With the federal affidavit that we saw from the FBI agent related to the federal charges, with the statement that we got from the San Francisco DA explaining the state charges and what were the circumstances that led to those charges, you do have detailed factual assertions that, if you read them closely, seem to be rebutting some of these rumors and lies that are out there circulating. I wonder what you think about that as a potential sort of funneling process or sieving process for making sure that the truth stays connected to these stories.
I think at the end of the day, it's the thing that's going to be on Wikipedia, which might help down the line, right? That's the thing that the kids are going to read years down the line, probably instead of history books. However, in the moment, right now, if you talk to somebody at a supermarket, you would probably hear the lie that was pushed around by Elon Musk this weekend 50% of the time, I would guess. I mean, that's how pervasive this thing was over the weekend. And the other thing I want to bring up with this is that this guy, David DePape, was a fervent QAnon guy. He was a fervent Pizzagate believer, that he thought he was doing something for the cause here. He thought he was taking out the lead member of the cabal. But the second somebody actually acts on the things that these people want them to act on, the second somebody does the thing that they are agitating for, which is violence against their political enemies, who they believe are like eating kids in some cases, or worse, or at least doing immense corruption. The second that happens, they abandon that person. They throw him to the wolves. They created a whole world where this man was actually secretly in love with the person he went to go attack. So the problem right now in this space is that they are incredibly cowardly about this. You have the tens of thousands of people saying this stuff, saying they're going to go do violence. Then somebody goes and does it, and they don't even disown that person. They just say it couldn't be us, but it is them. They talk about this violence all the time, so they try to benefit from all sides of this. They need to maintain this permanent victimhood, this permanent idea that they could never be doing anything wrong. But they are committing, very frequently now, political attacks, physical, violent political terror attacks.
Wow. And I want to stop it right here. I want to go back and read you guys the bottom of what the screen says. Right-wing conspiracy spread in wake of Pelosi attack. That lets you know everything that you need to know about the liberal narrative right now. Jamal, what do you think?
Rachel Maddow is famous for lying about the VAC.
Oh, yeah, you know it.
She lied about that. She lied about the Trump taxes. She tried to have this special with Trump taxes.
Yep,
she lied.
Didn't go well.
They are looking for something to make people vote Democrat because the people are tired of their policies. They're trying to peel away from a few undecided. See, political violence. Republicans need to push back. Republicans got right now Christopher Monzon in Florida canvassing for Ron DeSantis and and Senator Marco Rubio.
Yep.
They took him and beat him up. Put him in a hospital with the fractured skull. Then you got Kyler Elgerson, who I've been I'm going to keep talking about him. They 41-year-old man ran him down with the SUV and ran him over because he called him a MAGA extremist, a MAGA Republican. That's Joe Biden's fault. People need to on our side need to understand they're going to blame us for stuff anyway, so don't waste your time trying to denounce it because, of course, it's not every conservative. Was it you? No. Then don't waste your time apologizing for it.
What do you think about what they're saying is that Republicans will never admit to the person ever being part of their group because they want to maintain what they call Republicans being a victim, their victimhood. This is what this guy is saying, that Republicans want to maintain their victimhood, them always being seen as a victim. So if they go ahead and somehow admit that this guy, could be part of the group or somehow, inspired or influenced by the group, it would take away from their victimhood. What do you say to that? Because I've been hearing that a lot coming from the left for the past 2 days, that somehow Republicans and conservatives are playing victim. Can you just speak to that?
Number one, they are trying to throw it off and try to say it's Republicans and our supporters who are doing this, while totally admonishing, totally just walking past the grave with Antifa and Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's not forget the Summer of Love 2020 when they burnt and looted. Let's not forget how they intimidated a jury and said if Derek Chauvin is let free, they're going to burn the city down. Let's not forget that.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, absolutely correct. You know, we never heard them saying, hey, you know what, we got to keep down this rhetoric. As a matter of fact, Jamal, let's be honest, they encouraged that rhetoric coming from the liberal left.
Yes.
They encouraged it. And this rhetoric led to politicians, city council members, them being scared to do their own gosh darn job they were elected to do, for fear of their house being burned down, for fear of them being beat up and killed. So the stuff that the liberal left is pushing right now is an absolute fraud, farce. It's fake. And it's fake and phony. They just want folks to be able to somehow see them as being a victim and push their narrative. They need folks to vote for them, ladies and gentlemen. They still have not won. They're scared. They know they're going to get their ass whooped in the House. They know it. So they're doing whatever they can. And the October surprise, Paul Pelosi and him and his estranged husband, getting into a fight. I believe that's a lover's quarrel. That's what I said. I said, this sounds like a lover's quarrel. That's what, you get what I'm saying? That's what first thing I thought, I said, my goodness gracious. I knew something was fishy with that guy there. And come to find out, this guy, you've seen his X-ray, right? You see how freaky he is. So, what can I say? It's a dangerous world out there. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. But that also does let you know how dangerous California is. And the liberals are skating away from that as well, too, Jamal. You know that, right?
Yeah, they trying to get away from it.
Yeah, and they're blaming rhetoric. They're blaming extremism instead of them blaming their failed policies and the reason why people are running amok so crazy. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Bombshell documents being dropped, let me tell you. Shows DHS plan to censor social media. Let me go ahead and run this when I come back. I want to speak about it. Make sure you guys do me a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Here we go.
Documents obtained by The Intercept are revealing that Facebook and Twitter were closely collaborating with the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI to police what they call as disinformation on everything from the withdrawal of our troops from Afghanistan to the origins of COVID. Now, the documents also reveal that an FBI agent named Laura Demlow was in direct communication with Facebook and helped spearhead the decision to suppress the Hunter Biden laptop story in 2020. Now, one of the more remarkable findings from investigative journalist Lee Fang, who uncovered this, was that Facebook and Twitter created special portals for the government to rapidly request takedowns of content. And how did DHS justify all of this? Well, they argued that, of course, false information is a source of radicalization and violence. In other words, it's licensed to censor their political opponents. Joining me now is Miranda Devine, New York Post columnist, Fox News contributor, author of The Laptop from Hell. Miranda, can't think of a better guest tonight to have on, given what we've discovered. How big a story is this?
Look, it's enormous, Laura. I think that the cover-up that we've found out from the FBI in collusion with big tech over our story, the laptop from hell story, is bigger than the original story of corruption. And now we see that it expands right across to all these other issues. I mean, particularly, COVID vaccines. You mentioned the withdrawal, the botched withdrawal from Afghanistan, all sorts of things that were awkward disasters for the Biden administration end up being what's being suppressed. So obviously, this is the Biden administration basically harnessing the power of big tech and the security apparatus to silence dissent, to stop their critics. And I guess that's because the Democrats don't have a record to run on, so all they can do is lie and gaslight people and try and bury the truth. And we'll see next week how successful that's been.
Now, Miranda, among the really alarming findings was that former Twitter legal head, Vijaya Gadde, who Musk he fired last week, met monthly with DHS to discuss the plans for censorship. Now, I know this doesn't surprise you coming from the New York Post because your stories were suppressed, but it looks like your work was part of what they were looking to suppress, obviously, here.
Absolutely was. And we know that because Mark Zuckerberg has admitted that Facebook came to his people just before our story broke in October of 2020 and warned them about a story to look out for a dump of information that looked just like our story. As Zuckerberg said, it fit the pattern. And that was the same FBI agents who are now named in this lawsuit, Missouri versus Biden, and which is exposing all these internal documents, these internal emails at Twitter and Facebook, and showing how widespread this censorship campaign was. It wasn't just over the Hunter Biden laptop, that's what we had discovered, but turns out it was over a whole range of issues. Whatever was uncomfortable to the Biden administration, you had their agencies, DHS, FBI, reaching out to Facebook and Twitter and Microsoft, all the sort of social media companies and big tech. And unfortunately, it seems that the executives of big tech were more than happy to cravenly roll over.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're extensions of the DNC at this point. And by the way, the documents that you're referencing, it's broader. J.P. Morgan attended nearly all the Cybersecurity Advisory Committee meetings on misinformation and disinformation. Again, quickly, Miranda, they're laying the groundwork, are they not, for this idea of debanking to become an even more mainstream strategy, removing the ability of people to invest money, borrow money, house money in certain institutions. It looks like this is where it's going.
It's really chilling. We saw a taste of that, of course, with the Canadian protests, and we've seen it here with GoFundMe, not just closing down anything to do with conservatives. This is a terrifying Stasi-like, CCP China-like collusion between all corporate, big tech, whatever you call it, and one side of politics. And this is why they're going completely nuts about Elon Musk buying Twitter. Free speech is their enemy, and they're trying to close it down.
Miranda, thank you so much for your reporting and your commentary on this tonight. It's so important.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.
Wow. Man, oh, man. So that lets you know right then and there we are already in an authoritarian state right now. It lets you know they are censoring folks based upon quote unquote radicalization, basically things they don't like. Jamal, what do you say to this?
Jermain, you know, as content creators and people who come with content, we've been through this. We've been through Somebody had to be behind the scenes saying, stop this person, stop this person. Perfect example. I did a post on Facebook. It was talking about Paul Pelosi. And one of the things I'm saying is this. They love to talk about Pelosi, but they don't want to talk about that young boy, Elgerson. They don't want to talk Manzoni, the canvasser who got beat up and put in the hospital. They don't want to talk about them. They don't want to talk about them. And as soon as I put a meme out, it went good, Jermain, for about 30 minutes. Then it just dropped. So, yes, we've been through this. How many times, Jermain, have you had to start over? You had to start over. And we're going to talk about this later tonight. YouTube took your page for something they was wrong about.
Yep.
There's no apology to you.
None.
There's no Mr. Botsio, you worked hard to build this page up. You bought cameras and systems and style. All this. So this is good to know. So hopefully if Republicans take the House and Senate, if Republicans take it, they can open inquiries so people can sue these tech companies for violating their 203.
Absolutely. They gotta start paying some real taxes if they're gonna be start doing stuff like this. It is just crazy to me that a lot of folks who are on the liberal left still don't see the censorship. When you speak to a lot of folks on the liberal left, they're living in a crazy world that doesn't have censorship in it. They believe that, we're making up a lie. And if you just go ahead and open up your eyes, you can see that censorship is the real deal. It's the real fight of the 21st century. It really is censorship. And I believe that if we don't start working on trying to combat this as one, it will get really bad to the point where you're not even able to share your own thoughts. And this is what's happening right now. You can only share thoughts that are approved by the Ministry of Truth. Any other thoughts, they don't like it. Look at what they're doing to Kyrie Irving. They're censoring him. He went and tweeted a movie that he found on Amazon that was, that they were calling, what is it called? Anti-Semitic. And it's about some blacks being Jews, Hebrews, Negroes.
Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah. Regardless of what he believes, he didn't say anything anti-Semitic or do anything anti-Semitic. But apparently he's anti-Semitic. And folks out there aren't believing it. I think they really screwed up on this one. Because nobody's believing it. Only the folks that they're getting to say stuff are the people, the figureheads, the people who are making decisions. But the fans, even his friends, they don't believe this at all. So you could see it's a real deal here. Now, moving forward here, I want to speak to you guys about a video that was put on Fox. And it's kind of crazy. It's about migrants waving a flag on U.S. soil after illegally crossing the border. They were that bold. I want you guys to take a look at this, and I want to speak about it. Here we go.
Another day, another chaotic scene at the southern border. Texas troopers forced to give chase. Hey! Hey! This after a group of migrants bailed out of a vehicle during a human smuggling attempt, and this was hardly the only dangerous incident in that crisis. Bill Malugion's back live at the border, Eagle Pass, Texas today. And Bill, good morning.
Bill, good morning to you. The month of November starting off here at our southern border, just like every other month down here, with large groups crossing in the early morning hours. Take a look at our live Fox drone right now. This is the remnants of a group of 300 that just crossed illegally in Normandy, Texas this morning, a tiny little town on the outskirts of Eagle Pass. That group, almost all of them single adults. You can take a look at our drone video we shot earlier this morning to get the full scope of that group. Most of these people are coming in from countries that are not subject to Title 42, including Cuba and Venezuela. That means they will be processed and released into the United States, a majority of them at least. And Border Patrol describes a large group as 100 or more migrants. And in just this Del Rio sector alone, Border Patrol reports they have had more than 50 of these large groups just since October 1st.
Darn,
this
look,
video
they got
you're looking at from
buses
Normandy,
lined
the
up
exact
and
same
everything.
spot where we had a group of 400 cross illegally on Sunday morning. And then take a look at this video out of El Paso, Texas yesterday. This was a clash between migrants crossing illegally into the El Paso area and Border Patrol agents. You'll see a large group of migrants, predominantly Venezuelans, crossing the river and entering the El Paso area, one of them carrying a very large Venezuelan flag. Then you're going to see a line of Border Patrol agents respond and push them back into the river. They are armed with paintball guns and they are firing pepper balls at them once they get into the water. Why are they doing that? CBP says one of the migrants assaulted a Border Patrol agent with a flagpole, and another migrant threw a rock at a Border Patrol agent and injured that agent. That is why they had to use those crowd control measures. This video was provided to us by an activist at the scene. She told us she did see a rock thrown at Border Patrol. CBP's Office of Professional Responsibility now investigating this incident. Lastly, take a look at this video we embedded with the Kinney County Sheriff's Department
for you.
as they pulled over a speeding vehicle with paper plates. You guessed it. They take a look inside the vehicle. 8 illegal immigrants being smuggled inside by a female U.S. citizen. She was arrested and charged. And back out here live, law enforcement tells us they are starting to see a lot more U.S. citizens getting wrapped up in both drug smuggling and human smuggling as they are sucked in by the offer of quick, easy cash from these smugglers and cartels on social media.
You know why they getting sucked in with quick and easy cash? Because look at Biden's economy. You got the cartel offering you big cash. You gonna want to Biden's economy. Let me tell you, brother. OMG. Let me tell you, OMG. Ain't this wild? Let me tell you, ain't this wild? What do you say to this here, brother? What do you say?
Number one, they all need to be returned back. Turn their butt around, put them back in Mexico and wait. For the people that was out there waving the other flag, I would have chased them down, arrested them, fingerprinted him. He'll never come to this country, ever. As long the whole plan is to replace Americans with Democrat voters, because they know illegal immigrants and immigrants coming over here, living off the government tea, is going to vote Democrat. This is horrible. And what people need to see governors do, Governor Greg Abbott need to sue the federal government so he can finish the wall. Kerry Lake, sue the state so you can finish the wall. Because we are being invaded. This is why we got fentanyl coming in our state looking like candy.
Yup.
When they do that, they are purposely trying to kill people.
They got the fentanyl coming in like crazy. You know, they say they're trying to target kids of this nature. In my opinion, they may be trying to differentiate against the drugs, or maybe you know what they're selling. But in everything being put out right now, it seems like they're trying to destroy the U.S. They're trying to destroy our economy. They're trying to destroy the way we live our life here. I mean, Jamal, let's be honest. What country can you run into, and then you're hit with paintballs and pepper spray, and you assaulted an officer with a flagpole. This guy assaulted an officer with a flagpole. He was hit with paintballs and a pepper spray. I mean, this is the type of nonsense that is going on. And then they got buses waiting for these immigrants. So we are not, in a sense, deterring anybody from coming here. We are actually telling folks to come. To be honest, you get what I'm saying? You saw all those buses lined up. They might as well brought limos. You get what I'm saying, Jamal? Look at this. They brought buses for them and everything, Jamal. Probably on the bus they had a Democrat that was there and a lawyer getting ready to get them in very easily. Let me tell you, I don't trust this, Jamal. This to me just looks like it's set up. It's an invasion. It's them trying to mess up our way of living and our economy. And people need to realize this. They need to. Jamal, last words on this here, sir.
If people don't start pushing back and demanding that these people be thrown out, you're going to continue to have the problems you have in America. See, a lot of people don't like to talk about the violent crimes and the violent deaths MS-13 has done to immigrants. They don't know the butchering MS-13 has done to American citizens. You have to put a stop to this. But this happened under Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. When Joe Biden was elected president, they said, hurry up, get to the border, or we won't get in. Once those reports came out that the people in the illegal immigration camps, these camps, were like, we just made it over here when Joe Biden was sworn in so they can evade capture and not be sent back. Yep. This right here.
Pepper spray. Paintball.
Pepper spray and paintballs. Just ridiculous.
Oh, I'm telling you, you go ahead and tell folks, hey, if you go ahead and rob a bank, the officers won't be using guns for you. They'll be using pepper spray and paintballs. Do you understand how many new bank robbers there'll be out there today?
They're going to put bank robbers out of business.
They'll be like, you know what? I'm bank robbing. They talking about paintball and pepper spray. Sure, for 100,000, I'll take some pepper spray and paintball.
But that's only for illegals, not for Americans. See, Americans can't get those type of deals.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Americans get the bullets, right? We get the bullets. They get the
coming out the front of the gun at full speed.
He ain't lying. Ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button. Make sure you do share. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to my guy, Ron G. Ron Gusto donated, took our challenge on Cash App. Shout out to Ron G. Absolutely. Shout out to Ron G. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Last but not least, I want to go ahead and speak to you guys. And let me pull this up here. I want to speak to you guys about an article on the Atlantic. Let me tell you, and this article here, I just want to go ahead and show you guys this. I think this is a very telling article of how a lot of liberals feel right now. I want you guys to take a look at this. Make sure you guys share. Make sure you hit that like button. Transitioning. Coming from the Atlantic.com. They posted an article, a piece by Emily Oster. Says, let's declare a pandemic amnesty. We need to forgive one another for what we did and said when we were in the dark about COVID. Gosh darn it. Mr. Jamal, who the heck is she talking about? Who was in the dark about COVID? And why do we need to forgive one another? What is she talking about? Can you explain?
No, there is no forgiveness. Heck no. I mean, hold on, let me turn it. Get this guy. Heck no. They knew they didn't know what was going on. They called people grandmama killers, grandparent killers. People lost their jobs. People was thrown off the internet. Now I can get back to what we was talking about. Jermain, you used to have a page of 3,000 people. They took that page away from you because they said you told some misinformation about COVID. They took your page from YouTube. Was YouTube gonna give you that back?
Nope.
See, they want to go forgiveness because they know what's coming up. They gonna have to answer for this stuff. They lied about the COVID vaccine stops transmission. That's a lie. Everything they told us, they lied. Mask, lie. Now we come find out our children in America is 2 years behind.
Yep.
So you got basically fifth graders with a third grade mindset, 12th graders with a 10th grade level of education, ninth graders with a 7th grade level of education, because they didn't know and they gambled with our children and their lives. They didn't want us not to obey them, so they enforced it with these draconian rules when it came to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Yes, Elon Musk has took Twitter. Yes, Elon Musk has done a lot of great things.
Yep.
Yes, Twitter will change, but Facebook and YouTube ain't.
Nope. It ain't going.
They don't have it so you can talk to somebody and actually, debate whether or not what you did was wrong. It's all AI. No, there's no forgiveness, because how many people lost jobs? How many people didn't go to family members that they love funerals?
Yep.
And they never admitted they don't know.
Nope. They never did. They never did at all. And they, how can I say this without being real nasty and rude? They were being nasty and rude.
No.
They were being nasty and rude. If you didn't go along with what they said, they called you a whole bunch of names. They want this pandemic amnesty for a lot of the politicians that made some poor choices that involved a lot of people's lives. Some people died because of the choices they made. And this is not being spoken about. So they want pandemic amnesty for the people who bought into the lie and the people who willfully pushed it, knowing, Jamal, that what they saying was not true. You know that people were pushing stuff that they knew was a lie, but they just didn't want to stand up and say, you know what? I don't think this is the truth. They just wanted to be cool, Jamal, because in the liberal world, in the trendy world, virtue signaling and acting like you care and all this other crap that they do is what they call social gold, is social currency. And that's what they wanted. So, no, I don't think pandemic amnesty should be around here at all. I think the folks that were pushing it deserve an ass whooping. And I believe that they know retribution is coming.
Yes,
retribution is coming in the name of an ass whooping and a lawsuit. Last words here, Jamal.
They sat here and destroyed people's lives. They destroyed people's lives, turned family members against each other.
Absolutely.
People got jibber jab. People sat here and were scared, and they never admitted they didn't know.
Yep.
That's the thing. So no, there's no forgiveness for these people. They need to be sued. Many of them need to be arrested. But most importantly, this is further proof of the most safest fair election 2020. It all then was a lie.
Yep.
And it's still a lie.
Still a lie. Still a lie. Everything. Jamal, buddy, pal, that is the show for today. I want to thank you so much for coming on in here, hanging out with us. We really do appreciate it. Jay had to go. I want to let folks know that. He had a drop off, but he'll be back later next week with us, hanging out, giving out the good word. Jamal, any last words for our crowd here, sir?
To everybody, you see the page name Mind of Jamal Live. I got banned on the other one from YouTube for 2 weeks, so I'm still having my live broadcast. I'm still battling out with liberals, but please come like Mind of Jamal Live, so that way you guys can see me and still come out, have a good time, and just enjoy yourself. So if you see Mind of Jamal Live, you'll see that. Please go look it up. Mind of Jamal Live. Go look it up. So you guys can find me, like the page, share, so we can have back having an awesome time. Jermain, I want to thank you for having me out and allow me to come. And Jay McCaney, to our other member of the Triple Threat Jays. Jay, have a blessed and wonderful night. God bless. Thank you for coming out, Jay. And for everybody,
Absolutely.
I thank you all for coming out. I thank you all for coming out. For those who gave and donated, thank you for your donations and your kindness and generosity. For those who say, well, all we got is $2 or $3, that goes a long way. And you had a super chat on Rumble from Z Crisp. You had a super chat on Rumble.
I'm only here now. It's being stupid. Shout out to Z Crisp.
Yeah.
Z Crisp on Rumble.
We're going to keep fighting because, as y'all see, the truth is exposing them.
Absolutely. And you can see all the lies that they're coming up with. They need to come up with the lies so that they can get in. They're acting just like their daddy, ladies and gentlemen, just like their daddy. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to everybody. Thank you all for coming on in here. Thank everybody for donating, hitting that like button, and also sharing. All right. I'll be on tomorrow with our good friend Anthony Allen. So come on, hang out with us. We shall have a very, very good time. All right. So with that being said, you guys take care. Have a very, very good night. And we'll catch you guys here later with another edition of Conservative Nation.
Thank you, everybody.